doing? Eating some food? You're so pretty. You look like you have really soft fur. You're so cute. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Bye-bye. Hi guys. On a hike. Niagara Falls. Wanted to bring a little update. I'm feeling God stirring in me to share some things. Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through Him. I once heard God tell me, Jesus is the portal to the Father. I literally heard those words. And I was like, what does that mean? I obviously kind of know, but I thought that was interesting wording. Oftentimes, Jesus is referred to as a door, or the way to the Father, or to the kingdom of heaven, which is not necessarily just a literal location, but a state of being. And in my own personal life, I have found that nothing satisfies me or gives me peace more than when I seek Jesus. When I seek Jesus as my peace. He gives us complete freedom. The freedom that He gives us is so deep that no human can even comprehend how deep the freedom is. More and more as time goes on, as I look to see what Jesus is saying to me, as opposed to what man is saying to me, humans, I realize He's giving me freedom. He's taking off my burdens, while humans are putting burdens on each other. So if Jesus is the door to freedom, then that's the door I want to walk through. Why wouldn't I? No other door has given me complete freedom. And I mean complete freedom. And I haven't even received all the freedom that Jesus has for me yet. I haven't explored the depths or the heights of His freedom that He has for me. Just unlimited. And as each layer of burden is stripped off of me, a new layer of freedom is revealed. I should say a new burden is revealed. Obviously a new layer of freedom is given to me, but a new layer of burden is revealed. One that I didn't even know I had. I suggest to you to set aside every weight in exchange for the freedom Jesus has for you. Every single weight. If you can't figure out how to do that, let go of one weight. Give it to him. See what he says. See what he says. Not the voices in your head that the people have brainwashed you with. That the enemy has brainwashed you with. We are completely free. And all we have to do is keep seeking him for the ways that bondages have been placed on us. And then give them to him one by one. There's no burden that he doesn't want to take from you. Come to me, all who are weary and heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon thee, for I am humble and lowly of heart. My yoke is easy. My burden is light. His burden is lighter than any burden this world has put on you. It's so light that it's not even a burden at all. And at first, it might seem like it's heavy. That's only because we don't know how to let go of the things that are actually a burden. Because Jesus has no burdens for us. Absolutely none. He's been my friend my entire life. No matter what I did, every time I went to him, I was not condemned. I can't say that about any other person in my life. I'm using the word condemnation kind of lightly. Some people I have been condemned by. We're all doomed if we think we can do it ourselves. Someone recently asked me if I followed the 10 Commandments. I appreciate this person and their heart because they care about people. They don't want to see anyone perish. But I tell you the truth right now. They are perishing more than I am. I do not have to try to follow the 10 Commandments. I do not disobey them. And at this point in my life, it comes naturally. Because when I stopped trying and I surrendered to God, he changed me. God changed me. The more we surrender to our way of doing things, or us thinking we have to do it, and look to God and allow God to do it, God does it. We can't change ourselves. So many Christians in this world, they want to be a good person. They want God to count them as worthy. That's not the point. The point is all of us feel unworthy. Jesus came to say, hey, follow me. That's it. Follow me. I'm the way, the truth, and the life. He is the Son of God. He's the only one who's the Son of God so far. And our goal is to become sons and daughters. Right now, we are children of God. Someone once explained to me that in Jewish culture, now correct me if I'm wrong, but in Jewish culture, the father doesn't call someone a son until he's like him. The Bible says that when we see him as he is, speaking of Jesus, we will be like him. And Jesus and the Father are one. And in spirit, so are we. But on the earth right now, we don't know that. We don't feel that. We don't experience that. Some of us have had tastes of it for sure. I'm not discounting that at all. But the level of oneness that we have yet to experience is so beyond what any human in their human form has ever experienced up to this point. And so far, many of us are getting to be more and more like Jesus as we learn his heart, his character, which is pure. And when we see him as he is 100%, we will be like him. And it's going to be a glorious day. And I have a really strong feeling that that day is very, very soon. Something big is coming very, very soon. And I really have no idea exactly what it is. And you can't figure it out by listening to prophets. Because you can clearly see many, many prophets hear from God, for sure. And these many, many prophets that you know for sure, by evidence, hear from God, are saying different things about what's coming. And I'm not just talking about Christian prophets either. I'm talking about people who connect with the spiritual realm. In whatever way they're doing that, I'm not here to even judge at this point. I truly believe God can use any single person on this earth, whether they understand who Jesus is yet or not, because I don't think anyone completely knows Jesus yet. Because I don't see anyone who is like him yet. Not discounting people who exhibit a lot of his qualities most of the time. Not discounting that at all. But there's a time when we're going to be 100% like him. And I don't mean like exactly his personality. I believe that God made us all individual people, all unique fractals of his eternal being, which the mind can't even comprehend. But everyone seems to be knowing that something is coming. Okay, not everybody. A lot of people don't know that, but people paying attention to that fact know it. People listening to God's Spirit, however they listen to Him, or them, however you want to say that, or she. God doesn't actually have a literal gender like we do on earth. Of course, Jesus was a male, but anyway. Holy Spirit's the feminine aspect of God. We have a father and a mother. God is not a single parent. But that's not the point of my video. I say he, so just bear with me when I say that. If anyone has a problem with that. I don't think everyone needs to know something's coming. I think everyone has a different role. But I do believe some people are closing their ears and their eyes and saying, na, 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 na. Because they like their comfortable life. And they have plans. There's totally nothing wrong with wanting to be comfortable. I love being comfortable. And there's definitely nothing wrong with having plans. But it's not helpful to hold on to plans that might not take place. And there's a plan for this whole earth thing. And I believe everyone here is in on it in some way or another. In on the plan. But most of our human selves don't really know what's going on. There's different levels of people knowing different amounts of what's going on. But something's coming, and if nothing happens, I'm going to be extremely surprised at this point. Extremely surprised. Because there is a time when there's not going to be evil on the earth anymore. And we all know we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. Blue jay somewhere. I'll just say be mentally prepared for anything to come shortly. Or not. Everything's going to work out. But I just want to encourage people to trust God no matter what happens. Seek God for guidance. Seek the one who unconditionally loves you. And if you're curious at all, ask God to reveal Himself to you. Ask Jesus to reveal Himself to you. And if you already know Him to the level that we can know Him, ask Jesus to confirm to you what's going on. There's a lot of people mocking others these days. In fact, Christians mocking other Christians. People who are joyful, pure-hearted, with childlike faith, are rejoicing for what they think is about to take place. Which I'm not sure if what they think is going to happen is what's going to happen. But people are mocking and scoffing them. Other Christians are mocking and scoffing them. Hard-hearted. I see the hard-heartedness. It's very sad. Humans tend to want to be divided based on their beliefs. Not everybody. But I say, let's all wait and see before we call someone a false prophet. In some prophecies, there may be some truth in it with some misinterpretation. And I say, let's be gentle with each other. Let's let people have their joy. It's not wrong. People are worried about people being disappointed. I'm worried about myself being disappointed. So they just disappoint them now. Why don't we comfort one another instead of bash each other with the Bible? One person picks one Bible verse to fight with, and another person picks another Bible verse to fight with. They're both in the Bible, y'all. How about we stop fighting? How about we start loving? How about we start showing others who we are by our love for one another? We really, really need to go back to the topic of freedom. Because the freedom does not come by trying really hard at anything. If you want to try really hard at something, go ahead. There's nothing wrong with that, if you want to do that. But if you're struggling and you don't know what to do with yourself, and you can't seem to do it anymore, you can try stopping and see what happens. Surrender to the one who can do it. That is being a partner with God. Surrendering, communing with God, asking God what He'd like to do, what He would like you to do. And don't put burdens on yourself that He's not putting on you. And don't make up stuff that God's telling you to do if He didn't really tell you. But by all means, if you feel God is telling you to do something for your own conscience, do it. That's how it works at that point in time. Because freedom, for the most part, for most people, comes in layers. It doesn't come all at once. I'm not saying it's impossible for it to come all at once. There's always a caveat to every single thing I say. I don't want to hear any arguing in the comments. I normally mean things generally when I say them. There's exceptions to every quote-unquote rule. I want to encourage Christians to focus less on behaviors and focus more on the heart. Because man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart. Jesus told the Pharisees, "You judge by outward appearance. I judge no one. But if I did judge, I would judge righteously." He said he doesn't judge. Wow. Like, really, let that sink in. God is love. Love keeps no record of wrongs. I'm not saying there's no right and wrong. I'm not saying to do wrong on purpose. I'm saying seek the freedom that Jesus has for you instead of the bondage of the works message, the works religion. Yes, good works do come from faith. That is true. You can also do good works without faith. And those are the works that are filthy rags. It's not that they're bad. It's simply, your works don't save you. The heart needs to change only. Everything else will follow. If you love God, if you want God's love, if you want to be with God, then be with Him. Let Him love you. Let His love change you. Realize that His love is 100% unconditional. Nothing can separate you from His love. God is love. Nothing can separate you from God. Separation is an illusion. The gospel is good news. The gospel is not bad news. Okay? Fear is the beginning of wisdom, not the end-all be-all of wisdom. Perfect love casts out all fear. So love is the highest wisdom. Not fear. Fear is literally the lowest form of wisdom. There is wisdom there, though. But it's the beginning. It's only the beginning. And some people don't even need that. Because God grants everyone a different measure of different things, like faith, for instance. And there's a phrase, faith over fear, because faith and fear are on opposite sides of the spectrum. He also grants us with different measures of wisdom, and different measures of an ability to love unconditionally. Whenever you question your salvation, literally talk to Jesus. Don't try to intellectualize. Talk to Jesus. I can guarantee you, if you're actually talking to Jesus, you will not be condemned. You are not sin. You are God's creation. You are part of God. You are a child of God. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. Many are living in layers and layers and layers of false identity. And when we see Jesus as he is, because he is the truth, he literally embodies the truth. I'm not talking about intellectual knowledge truth. I'm talking about the truth of the highest reality of, I can't even say everything, because things are created. There's no words to describe the truth that he is. When people are faced with Jesus, the fullness of him, they are faced with the truth, and then they know the truth. They know internally, spirit by spirit. It is not an intellectual knowledge of truth. Spend time with the lover of your soul. See how much he loves you. Let that change you. Let go of your burdens. One by one, see what burdens you can let go of. One by one. He loves you and he wants you 100% free, not half free. Deliverance is coming for those who seek him. He will give you deliverance. He will give you freedom. When you're not trying to make the freedom happen on your own. When you don't do it on your own, you say, yes, God, I let you do it. And that is when the miracles happen. I love you all 100%. Seek the lover of your soul. Jesus Christ. He's the Son of God, bringing in many, many, many more sons and daughters. And he wants you to be one of them. He wants you to be his brother or sister. I mean, he is, but he wants you to see that reality. He wants you to experience that reality of being one with him and the Father and the Mother. Trust God no matter what you see externally. It might be possible that some things coming might be extremely difficult to go through. But you can do it, and me and many others can attest to coming out on the other end of crucible. The fire. God's refining, purifying fire of love, which is the truth, which is unconditional love, which is the light. The light is coming and the light is here. Love you all. Have a blessed day. Oh.